welcome back to Morning Express and to the second leg of conversations on the program this morning. And we're being joined virtually by Mr. Jide Ojo, who is a public affairs analyst, a patriotic Nigerian, of course, lending his thoughts to issues of national interest. And one of many such national topics is a recent tolling or decision by the federal government to toll Nigeria's highways, starting off from the Kefi-Abuja highway, where we hear that there's been a toll gate that is now active. Hello and a very good morning to you, Mr. Jide. It's wonderful to have you join us on the program today.
My pleasure. Happy day to you.
Thank you. Fantastic. Well, I don't know if you caught my opener talking about the toll gates, especially the most recent one, Kefi-Abuja highway. What do you think of these developments? People are divided. Others are saying that yes, it's a fantastic way of revenue generation, while other Nigerians are citing that it is yet another burden on the backs of poor Nigerians plying the road. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I happen to have applied that road going to Makurdi in September 2024. And I can tell you for free that the people of Nasarawa and Benue State are indeed very happy and willingly will pay the toll fee. Of course, I read a news report yesterday that it's only one of the gates, one of the passage that is functional now, and that has created a huge gridlock, particularly because you have to pay with your debit card. I think this should have been factored in, but in terms of whether it's justified for the tolling, I would say yes. 21 years ago, Olusegun Obasanjo, then President of Nigeria, decided to preemptorily demolish all the toll gates across the country. Meanwhile, if you recall at that time, one of the reasons advanced for the demolition of the toll gates was because of corruption, that many of the people who are in charge of ticketing at these toll gates were actually printing their own tickets and selling to the public, and the government was losing a huge revenue. And what Obasanjo did at that time, which was resisted by the then National Assembly, was to impose fuel tax instead of toll. And people say, why do you have to impose fuel tax? And this will be a burden that will be carried by people who are not even motorists, who do not even have vehicles on the highway.
Yeah.
So that idea was shelved. But let's come back to the toll. Did you know, my brother, that road, that Kefi, Abuja, Kwanga, Kefi, to Makurdi Highway was funded by loan of over $400 million from that was obtained from the Chinese. So the point is, the federal government did not have enough revenue to fund this route and decided to use what is called PPP, public-private
partnership. Yeah. Okay.
Which eventually led to the fast tracking of the work on that project. So if federal government is throwing over $400 million, and we know what the budget is like, every year at the National Assembly, the successive Minister of Works will tell you, oh, what we got in the budget is paltry, we cannot pay our contractors, it's too small. So the alternate ways to fund road projects in Nigeria is through this tolling. And if you approach private sector and they use their own resources to build roads, you definitely will know that they will have to recoup their investment. And that is why, this tolling is, to me, much as I believe it's an additional burden on Nigeria, but it is desirable. I would rather have a toll gate or a tolled road that is smooth, that is secured, that is durable, well maintained, than to have deplorable state of roads. Let me give you a tale of two cities. I have friends across the north central region. While my friends in Benue and Nasarawa are very appreciative of this road, those in Plateau State are crying that how they wish they can have this kind of road network leading to Jos and to Bauchi and to Gombe and the rest of it. Because for my friends who travel on that road going to Jos, there is no time they travel with their vehicle that they don't come back to visit mechanic for one planning or the other.
Due to the deplorable state of the roads?
Yes, the road from Akwanga to Jos is very deplorable. Whether you take Akwanga Road or you even decide to take the Kaduna South Kaduna.
I understand the Kaduna axis, which isn't entirely safe at the moment.
So what I'm saying in comparison is that while I agree that this is coming on the heel of Telco's tariff hike, we are also being told that there will be hike in the electricity tariff for other bands apart from Band A. The point is there is rising cost of living across the world, and my own position is that if we can have all the federal government and state government and local government roads like the one from Akwanga to Makurdi, I tell you for free, motorists, commercial vehicles, private car owners, truck drivers will be happy to pay. How much are they going to pay? Let me do the maths for you.
Okay.
When they release the toll, the amount to pay, the highest is for articulated vehicle, which they will pay 1,600. Yeah, 1,600 in 4 places, that is still under 10,000 naira. But do you know that if that articulated vehicle breaks down, what the mechanic will collect from the owner of that truck could be in hundreds of thousands. So that is the highest. Then what the federal government, the lowest being 500 naira for commercial, for ordinary cars. Then there is one for 800, there is one for 1,000. That's SUV 1,000 naira. But what government has also done, which gladdens my heart, is that government has said that for commercial vehicles, they are to pay. They get them. Is it 30 to 50% discount?
Of the 1,600.
Yes. Okay. So they have a discount for commercial vehicles. They are not paying the premium amount. Then the tricycles and motorbikes and bicycles will not pay. So those are the means of transportation for poor ordinary citizens. So the bicycle owners, the tricycle owners, which we call keke napep, then the motorbikes are not paying. They are not paying the toll. Only vehicles, 4-wheel drive, and the articulated vehicles will pay. And like I've explained, there is even a discount for commercial vehicles, which is reasonable. Because the flip side of this, my brother, is that would you rather be visiting your mechanic time and again? You know what spare part is like. You are not even sure of the quality of the spare parts, because some of these mechanics are crooks. They will tell you this one is Taiwan, this one is Belgium, this one is this. But you give them money, they still go ahead to buy you the fake spare part. So many vehicles have been cannibalized because of the poor state of our road. So the reality that stares us in the face is that federal government does not have the full complement of resources to maintain and build new roads. And if it will take tolling for us to have good road network, to have well-maintained road network, so be it. And in addition, we should also know that these toll gates also provide some security, because they are going to be armed. There will be security patrolled around the toll areas. Then aside from the security of this toll gate, so for instance, if your vehicle is about to break down, you can manage it to the vicinity of where there is toll gate, and you know that there are armed security escorts around there. But the other,
yeah, carry on. Just your last point before I ask another question, please.
so the other thing is that small businesses, local economy will also be assisted, because around that toll gate you will see people selling fruits, you will see them, those who are selling drinks, those who are, it's going to boost local economy. If you know, if you have been traveling on the road along Abuja, Lokoja, Ukene and all of that, at every point drivers will stop at Ukene, at Lokoja, for people to refresh. And what it means is that around this toll gate,
yeah,
farmers will be able to sell their wares, food vendors will be there, those who are selling drinks will be there. They will also make some money, which will help their family. The last point I want to make is that there will also be way bridges. So vehicles who overloaded, there will be way bridges to know whether they overload or they didn't overload, and that will help to ensure that the road is not the road network is durable. So these are some of the advantages of having the toll gates, in my own opinion.
Well, Mr. Jide Ojo, you have beautifully laid out these points, and I believe any other argument coming in from any quarters will find yours more reasonable. However, there's something you had mentioned earlier that I wanted to get more clarification on. You had cited that there is a certain portion of the toll gate that requires motorists to pay for the toll using their ATM cards. And also relating it to when former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo had, stated or stopped tolling across the country due to certain individuals printing their own tickets and diverting the funds into personal pockets. But how sustainable do you think this payment using ATMs can be? There are individuals who might not really have the opportunity or who might not be interested in using ATM cards, who only deal in cash, and for a toll that is just 1,600 naira, someone might be willing to just use cash, just the way you find at airports or other places where tolling is set. What do you think of this?
Yes, like I said, I read a report where Radio Nigeria correspondent that visited the toll gate yesterday said there was a very long queue because the intendment of the operators of the toll gate is that it's going to be cashless. And that is arising from what I told you earlier, that 21 years ago, one of the reasons Obasanjo demolished all the toll gates was because of corruption. So this time they decided they were going to make it cashless.
Yeah.
You understand that it's going to be cashless. So you are going to be using your debit card to pay. But that is creating another problem because, as we know, our internet service provider in many of these highways, even when you want to make calls on the highway,
the network might not be so good.
The network is not optimal. So now I don't know how they are going to do it, because if you have, and what came out yesterday was that there was no proper public enlightenment. So it got most of the road users yesterday unaware. They were not aware because for about 6 months now that road has been commissioned, they have been plying it free. So all of a sudden they just saw people saying that for you to pass you have to pay X and Y amount of money. So there is need for proper public enlightenment. Two, if they have to work with telecommunication companies to provide maybe a special mast on those highways that will ensure that there is a seamless internet service that will ensure that people can pay with their debit card without stress. The other thing is, I was in Lagos over the weekend.
Okay.
And to access the rail line, the metro line in Lagos, you are not going to use cash. Do you know what they do? There is what is called the cowrie card. That cowrie card is preloaded with certain amount of money. So you use it, the money is already on your debit card. It's a kind of debit card. They call it cowrie card.
Especially customized. You mean it's specially customized just for that particular purpose?
It's customized to your pay.
Okay.
In fact, it's customized to everybody's pay. Then there is money on it. So when you want to access the train service, you just put your carry card on a small platform, and it reads, and then once it shows green, it allows you to pass. That kind of carry card could be arranged, but the difficulty in having a kind of carry card on a highway is that it's not everybody that applies that route on a daily basis. And how do you obtain that carry card? Where do you go and obtain it? But what can be done is that there must be multiple payment channels. It shouldn't just be through debit card. Maybe people can make transfer. Maybe there should be those who can pay cash, because if you are going to the airport here in Abuja, my brother,
yeah,
it's cash based. You pay cash to access the once you get to FAN gate, you pay cash. What can be done is that for those who want to pay cash, there should be a dedicated line, and those who want to use their debit card can also have some lines dedicated to them. But there is a need for banks, bank and telecommunication companies to find a quick solution to internet access around those toll gates, so that people will not be unduly delayed. Because what do? They will not allow you to pass unless you pay. And now you are willing to pay, but the network is not cooperating. So what do you do in such situation? So there must be multiple payment channels open to people who are applying that road. And there must be sufficient public enlightenment so that people know. Let me also say this. Part of the release was that for the military, police, people who are in the security services, they will not pay toll gate. So if you are military, you are riding a military car, you are in a police vehicle, you are exempted from paying the toll. Those are another category of people who are exempted, apart from the motorbikes and tricycle and bicycle riders.
All right. In addition to this, your point, Mr. Jide Ojo, I would also want to add that you had mentioned that vehicles driven by the police and military will be exempted from the fees, while commercial vehicles will only pay 50%. Also, cars will pay 500 naira. Sports utility vehicles, as SUVs, will shell out 800 naira, and of course, light vehicles and minibuses will pay 1,000 naira, while the 1,600 naira, which has been the biggest figure so far, is for trucks, buses, and multi-axle vehicles. This is noteworthy for many Nigerians. However, another thing that I want you to touch on just before we let you go is the 25-year period or 25-year duration for the Mercy's Channel Harbour Operations and Maintenance Company Limited, in partnership with Catamaran Nigeria Limited, who will be responsible for handling this tolling for 25 whole years. After 25 years, what happens next, Mr. Jide?
It reverts to the federal government of Nigeria. That is what is called BOT, Build, Operate and Transfer. It's part of what we call the public-private partnership. Okay. So after 25 years, it is believed that they will have recouped their over $400 million with interest, and then it reverts to the federal government to now manage. So it's not like after 25 years there will be no more tolling on that road. It just means that the Federal Ministry of Works will now take full charge of the tolling of those roads.
All right, I think that's the major question that has been on the minds of Nigerians after 25 years. What happens? However, with many calls being made for more tolling gates across different parts of the country, do you think that the federal government would once again opt for this public-private partnership to set up tolling gates across different parts of the country, or will it just be subsequently entirely an initiative of the federal government to do this?
No. This is just the first of nine road networks that are going to be told.
Okay.
We have been informed. And I think state government can take a cue to also do BOT, build, operate, and transfer under their public-private partnership. It's the fastest way to get our roads back in a motorable way. Look at all the accidents that have been happening all across.
Yeah.
Majority of those accidents are because of the bad state of roads. Even issues around kidnapping and banditry, because some of the road networks are not good, so vehicles have to slow down. In the course of slowing down, bandits will strike and kidnap and abduct people. So the advantages of doing PPP, or what we call build, operate, and transfer, far outweighs the economic cost, which may initially be so huge. But at least imagine it will take these Chinese firms 25 years to recoup their investment. But can government do that? If the government had waited to until when they will have enough budgetary resources to do the roads, it will never be done. Most of the roads that are being handled by federal government took over 20 years for them to do those roads. And this Abuja, Kefi, Akwanga to Makurdi, I'm not sure it took up to 5 years before that road network was built. So the advantage far outweighs the disadvantages.
Well, in closing, what should motorists be expecting? I know the guidelines have been laid out as to how much will be paid and all of that. Also, in relation to activities or illegal activities that might take place at the toll gates when it comes to collection of these funds by individuals. What should Nigerians be expecting in a couple of months or even years as the toll has kick-started?
Well, for me, what they should seek, I think there will be premium services.
Okay.
On that route. It is believed that the concessionaire or those companies that will be running the toll will pay adequate attention to road maintenance, because you cannot have, and that's part of the goodies with this road network. It's not just that those companies are going to be making money for themselves. Don't forget that they will hire Nigerians. It's another job creation opportunity. But aside from job creation, it also means that the road will be well maintained.
Okay.
So issues of the road going bad, developing potholes and gullies will not arise. I'm presuming it will not arise, because now it's not going to be federal government that will be handling the maintenance. It's this concessionaire that will be handling the maintenance. And even when I was in Lagos, the Blue Rail line that I had the privilege of entering from National Theatre to Mile 2, we saw Chinese at those stations, yeah, who are in charge of the maintenance. Because you agree with me that our challenge basically in Nigeria is that of lack of proper maintenance culture. We do things, we build skyscrapers, we build hotels, we build roads, we build culverts, we build bridges,
but no maintenance.
We allow them to rot, and at the end of the day, you say, this road was built barely 5 years ago. Why is it not motorable again?
Well, so
it's the best way for government. I think federal, state, and even local government can take a cue from what the federal government is doing, and go into public-private partnership for road maintenance and charge some reasonable toll on them for the maintenance and then the recoupment of the investment.
All right, a very perfect way to leave it there, Mr. Jide Ojo. I must thank you so much. It's wonderful to have you joining us on Morning Express. Always a pleasure having these conversations with you.
My pleasure too. You have a great day.
You too.
Stay blessed.
Thank you.